Before we begin, imagine this. You wait at an airport for the man you plan to marry. Then another woman arrives with the same photograph. A third woman is holding the same promise. Listen carefully. This is my fiancé told the same love story to 3 women. My name is Maya Torres. I was 29 when I learned that my fiancé had told the same love story to 3 women. At 6:15 on a Friday evening, I stood beside the arrivals gate at the city airport. I held a small white sign that said, "Welcome home, Adrian." My hands were shaking because I had never met Adrian Vale in person. In my coat pocket was a silver ring he had asked me to wear. A tall woman in a plum coat stopped beside me. She carried yellow flowers and looked tired but excited. Then she saw the photograph attached to my sign. Her smile disappeared. "Where did you get that picture?" she asked. "It is my fiancé," I said. She slowly opened her phone. On the screen was the same man, with the same dark hair, the same warm eyes, and the same charcoal jacket. "His name is Adrian," she whispered. "He is coming here to marry me." Before I could answer, a red-haired woman walked toward us. She was carrying a welcome sign too. It showed the same photograph. For several seconds, the 3 of us stood under the bright airport lights without speaking. Then every phone in our hands received the same message. Flight delayed. Please wait for me. You are the only person who makes any place feel like home. 3 months earlier, I had not been searching for love. I worked at a small community bookstore and lived alone above a bakery. My friends were kind, but most evenings were quiet. My mother often asked if I was lonely. I always said I was busy. One Sunday, a man named Adrian commented on a public photograph of a reading event at my store. He asked about the book in my hand. His question was polite and specific, so I answered. The next day, he sent a message. He said he was an engineer working on short projects in different countries. He loved old train stations, strong coffee, and novels with unhappy endings. I liked 2 of those things, so we began to talk. Adrian never asked for private photographs. He did not send romantic words on the first day. He remembered small details instead. He knew my mother's birthday. He asked if the bakery below my room still woke me at 5 in the morning. He even remembered the name of a book my father gave me before he died. His attention felt like care. I did not understand that most of those details were visible in old public posts. We exchanged voice notes every day. His voice was calm and warm. Video calls were more difficult. Sometimes the picture froze. Sometimes the room was dark. I saw his face clearly only for a few seconds at a time. He said the internet at his work site was weak and cameras were not allowed near company equipment. The explanation sounded reasonable. When I asked for a longer call, he looked hurt. "You hear my voice every night," he said. "Do you think a face is more honest than a voice?" I apologized. After 6 weeks, Adrian sent a small box to the bookstore. Inside was the silver ring and a handwritten card. During a call that night, he asked me to marry him when his project ended. I laughed because it felt too fast. He did not pressure me. He said we could wait. Then he repeated a sentence that stayed in my mind: I do not need a perfect future. I only need one true person inside it. 2 days later, I said yes. My mother, Rosa, was careful. She asked why Adrian had never spoken to her on video. Adrian sent her a kind voice message in Spanish and promised to visit as soon as his contract finished. My mother still looked worried, but she did not want to fight with me. 1 week before his flight, Adrian called with a problem. His travel card had been frozen after he changed countries. He needed to pay an airport release fee for his work case before he could board. He sounded embarrassed and said he had already asked his company for help. The amount was $900. I told him I did not send money to people I had never met. He became quiet. Then he said, "You are right. Forget I asked. I will find another way." That response made me trust him more. An hour later, I sent the money. At the airport, the woman in the plum coat told me her name was Nadia Brooks. Adrian had contacted her through a cooking group. He remembered that she cared for her younger brother. He said he wanted a home where nobody had to eat alone. The red-haired woman was Claire Bennett. She had met him through a travel page. He knew she had cancelled a wedding years earlier and was afraid of public embarrassment. He promised their marriage would be private and quiet. "How much did you send?" Nadia asked me. I did not want to answer. "That is personal." "So is my engagement," she replied. For one painful minute, we looked at one another as if one of us had stolen something. Claire stepped back and said she did not know either of us. Nadia asked if my sign was a trick. I asked why she had come to our city if Adrian loved her. Then Claire read the new message again. He sent the exact same sentence to all of us at the exact same time. "We are not the problem." We moved to a quiet table near a closed cafe. Nadia placed her flowers on an empty chair. One by one, we opened our message histories. The dates were different, but the pattern was the same. A thoughtful first question. Weeks of careful listening. Short video calls. A ring. A private proposal. A problem before the flight. Nadia had sent $4,000 after Adrian said his younger sister needed emergency dental care. Claire had sent nothing. Each time money appeared in their conversations, she asked for a live video call with his passport. Adrian always changed the subject. Claire felt foolish for believing his words. Nadia felt angry because Claire had protected her money. I felt ashamed because $900 was almost all of my emergency savings. Then we found the sentence about a perfect future. Adrian had sent it to all three of us. He changed one or two words around it, but the promise was the same. We searched the photograph on Claire's laptop. The face belonged to a real architect named Luca Marin who lived in another country. His public account included conference photographs, travel pictures, and short videos. Someone had copied years of his life. Adrian's voice notes were not on Luca's page. We did not know if the voice belonged to one man, several people, or a computer tool. What we knew was simpler: the person who spoke to us was not the person in the photographs. We called the airline. There was no passenger named Adrian Vale on the delayed flight. In fact, the flight number in his message belonged to a morning flight that had already landed. While we were still at the table, Adrian sent another message. He said the airline could move him to a private connection, but he needed one final payment within 30 minutes. All three messages included different amounts. Claire had an idea. "He thinks we are in different cities," she said. "Let us keep it that way." Adrian had scheduled a short video call with each of us. We asked him to make one call first because we were afraid to send more money. He agreed to call Nadia at 8:30. We went to a small airport meeting room near the security office. Nadia placed her phone on the table. Claire and I sat outside the camera frame. We started a screen recording and saved copies of every message. At 8:32, Adrian appeared. The picture was dark and soft. It looked like Luca's face, but the mouth and sound did not always move together. "My love," he said, "I knew you would wait." Nadia asked him to turn on the room light. He refused. She asked what flowers she was holding. He guessed roses, but the yellow flowers beside her were lilies. Then Claire and I moved into the frame. Adrian stopped speaking. I held up the silver ring. Nadia held up hers. Claire showed the message with his copied promise. "Which one of us is your one true person?" Claire asked. The picture froze. A moment later, the call ended. His account disappeared before we left the room. We reported the profiles, payments, telephone numbers, and copied photographs. An airport officer helped us write the times clearly. My bank opened a case but warned me that the transfer might not return. Nadia received the same answer. At home, I put the ring in a kitchen drawer. My mother sat beside me without saying, "I told you so." That kindness hurt more than anger. For several days, I could not enter the bookstore's travel section. Every message notification made my stomach tighten. I missed the man I thought Adrian was, even though that man had never existed. Nadia blamed herself for trusting a person who spoke gently about her brother. Claire blamed herself for noticing danger but continuing the relationship. None of us could make the weeks disappear. 1 month later, the three of us returned to the airport cafe. Nadia brought no flowers. Claire brought printed copies of the reports. I brought the ring, still inside its small box. The case was still open. The accounts were gone, and our money had not returned. The real architect had posted a warning that his photographs were being used by false profiles. Before we left, a woman at the next table asked why we had 3 matching rings. We looked at one another. Then Nadia laughed for the first time. "It is a long story," she said. I closed the ring box and put it back in my bag. I was not ready to throw it away. I was ready to stop hiding it. We walked out of the airport together. Our reports were unfinished, our money was still missing, and Adrian's real name was still unknown. But none of us was waiting for his flight anymore. Thank you for watching English Journey Adventures. Listen again for stronger English. Read the words. Repeat the lines. See you in the next journey.